When someone disappears from your life without a trace, you learn how loud silence can be, how it echoes through your days, how it fills your nights. I learned that lesson the hard way, the morning I woke up to find that Owen Vance was gone. No note, no call, no explanation. Just the faint smell of his cologne on the pillow beside me and a phone number that went straight to voicemail. It had been 9 months since we started dating. 9 months of shared laughter, inside jokes, long drives, and whispered promises that made me believe I'd finally found something real. Owen wasn't my first love, but he was the first man who made me think about forever. We met in the most ordinary way, at a bookstore. I'd been flipping through a photography collection when a voice beside me said, "That author's overrated." I turned, ready to defend the artist, but the smirk on his face disarmed me. He had that confident but charming energy, the kind that makes you feel like you've stepped into a movie scene without realizing it. He introduced himself. "Owen." "Lyra," I said. He raised a brow. "Like the constellation?" "Like the heroine," I corrected, with a grin. From that moment, it was easy, effortless even. Coffee dates turned into dinners, dinners turned into weekends away, and before long, he had a drawer in my apartment. We had plans, dreams. He talked about traveling to Kyoto, opening his own design firm, maybe even adopting a dog. Then, one morning in early spring, he was just gone. At first, I thought something had happened to him. I called, texted, checked hospitals. His social media accounts were deactivated. His apartment was empty. The landlord said he'd moved out suddenly. His coworkers said he'd quit the week before without notice. The world had swallowed him whole. For weeks, I lived in denial. I replayed our last night together in my mind, looking for clues. We'd had Thai food, laughed over a bad movie, and fallen asleep on the couch. There hadn't been a fight, not even tension. Just comfort, warmth. So why? Why would someone vanish like that? I spent months grieving someone who was still alive. Because that's what ghosting is. It's grief without closure. It's mourning a love that technically still exists somewhere in the world, but is no longer yours. Life moved on though. Eventually, I learned to. I threw myself into work at the marketing agency where I'd recently been promoted, filling every spare moment with projects and deadlines. My best friend, Asha, tried to help. "He's an idiot, Lyra. Anyone who walks away from you without explanation doesn't deserve your tears." I nodded, but inside, I still ached. Then, almost a year later, everything changed. It was a Sunday afternoon when Asha sent me a message. "You might want to sit down before opening this." Attached was a link. I clicked it, and my world tilted. There he was, Owen, standing in a tuxedo, smiling beside a woman in a white lace gown. The caption read, "Congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Owen Vance. A beautiful wedding in Charleston this weekend. Wishing you a lifetime of love and happiness." The date stamped below it hit me like a punch. He hadn't disappeared. He hadn't died. He'd left me to marry someone else. The comment section was full of heart emojis and congratulations. The bride, Amelia Hart, was tagged in the photos. I clicked her profile, my stomach twisting tighter with every scroll. She was gorgeous, polished, the kind of woman who looked born into elegance. Her profile painted a perfect picture: charity events, yacht parties, travel photos. And there, 3 months back, was the first photo of her and Owen together. 3 months, which meant while I'd been grieving him, he'd been courting her. My breath came shallow. The anger didn't come all at once. It simmered, a slow burn that spread through me like acid. The betrayal was so sharp it almost felt absurd. He hadn't just left, he'd rewritten his entire life, erasing me from it. Asha called the next day. "Lyra, what are you going to do?" "I don't know," I admitted. Part of me wants to confront him, Part of me just wants to disappear the way he did. Disappear, sure, she said, but on your terms. That line stuck with me. The next few days, I couldn't focus. Every time I saw his face online, his smiling wedding photos being shared by mutual acquaintances, I felt a twist in my chest. But grief had turned into something colder now, something sharper. Revenge. Not the dramatic, movie kind, not screaming or smashing things. No, I wanted quiet revenge, the kind that whispered rather than shouted. So I started planning. First, I ordered a beautiful picture frame, oak, with an engraved border that read, "For memories that last forever." It was elegant, understated. Inside, I placed a photo of us, one I'd taken the night before he vanished. We were laughing, his arm around me, both of us flushed with warmth and wine. On the bottom of the photo, I wrote the date. The date he'd disappeared. No note, no signature, just that. Then I wrapped it neatly in ivory paper, tied it with gold ribbon, and addressed it to Mr. and Mrs. Owen Vance. It felt poetic, almost sacred, like returning a lie to its sender. I sent it through express courier to their listed wedding registry address, a waterfront townhouse in Charleston. And then I waited. Days passed, then a week, nothing, until one evening Asha called me, breathless. "Lyra, you need to check Owen's Instagram." My heart raced as I opened the app. His page was public again, and the first post was new. A photo of him and Amelia at their wedding, still smiling, but the comments told another story. Is this true? What's with the picture going around? You owe Amelia an explanation. I scrolled, confused, until I found it. Someone had posted a photo, my photo, the one from the gift. It had been uploaded to a gossip forum with the caption, "Apparently, this photo was anonymously sent to the Vances after their wedding. Sources say the woman in the picture is his ex, who claims he ghosted her right before getting engaged." The thread had exploded, people dissecting timelines, comparing old posts, speculating about infidelity. Within hours, Amelia had deactivated her Instagram. And Owen? He deleted his wedding photos. Asha messaged me later. "You didn't say you'd actually send it." "I just wanted him to know," I typed back. "That's all." But even as I said it, I realized it wasn't entirely true. I hadn't expected things to spiral publicly, but some part of me wasn't sorry they had. For weeks, I followed the ripple effects quietly. Someone leaked screenshots of old messages between Owen and another woman. Turns out, I hadn't been the only one he'd lied to. Word spread fast in his social circle. His reputation, once polished and charming, began to crumble. And me? I didn't gloat. I didn't need to. Sometimes the universe handles justice for you. You just have to give it a nudge. A few months later, I ran into him unexpectedly. I was at a gallery opening downtown, standing by a collection of abstract pieces, when I heard his voice, that same smooth, easy tone I used to love. "Lyra?" I turned. He looked thinner, tired. The light in his eyes, once confident, had dulled. "I didn't think I'd see you again," he said softly. "Neither did I replied. He hesitated. "You sent it, didn't you? The photo." I met his gaze evenly. "I sent the truth." He exhaled, rubbing the back of his neck. "You ruined my marriage." "No," I said. "You ruined it the day you lied." For a long moment, he said nothing. Then he nodded, almost resigned. Amelia left. She couldn't deal with the rumors. "Rumors?" I scoffed. "You mean reality." He flinched, but didn't argue. "I made mistakes. That's one word for it." He stepped closer, voice low. "Do you still hate me?" I smiled faintly. "I don't think about you enough to hate you." And it was true. That night, I walked out of that gallery lighter than I'd felt in a year. Closure isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's just realizing you no longer carry someone's ghost around with you. In the months that followed, my life took on a new rhythm. I traveled, started freelance consulting, met new people. I learned to trust again, slowly, carefully. But every now and then, I'd catch myself glancing at that empty spot on my wall where the framed photo had once hung, the photo that had started it all. And I'd smile, because it reminded me that sometimes heartbreak doesn't end with tears. It ends with power. The power to reclaim your story. The power to remind someone that erasing you comes with consequences. And the power to look at your past not with bitterness, but with a kind of fierce pride, because you survived it. Owen may have vanished without a trace, but I'd found something far more important than him. I found myself again, and this time, no one could ghost that away.
You've just stepped into her revenge side, where every wound finds its justice, and every silence ends with truth. If her story struck a chord, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps these stories alive. Another secret waits in the next video. See how her revenge begins.